Do you ever feel frustrated, angry, or even sad thinking about the fact that you're just not where you thought you would be in life right now? All kinds of things happen to us in our lives that cause us to think this way. And if you do, you're not alone. Hello, I'm Chris Clark, and this is my channel, Living a Richer Life, where we challenge your current thinking and explore how you can think differently to live a richer, more fulfilling life. So if you're one of those people who get stuck and are struggling with the idea that you're not where you thought you would be, let's back up for a moment. Life is not a race. When we're finishing high school, we often feel like we need to have a plan. And I'm reflecting on my son graduating from high school a few years ago, and all of his friends seemed to have a plan. Many of them were accepted to colleges, some are going into the military, and it seemed everyone had a plan but him, which we know is absolutely untrue. He's not the only one that doesn't have a plan, but he was the only one willing to admit at that point that I really don't know what I want to do next. And so off to college his friends went. Some had college scholarships, others had big life goals. They wanted to become pilots, for example, and were well on their way to do that. And then shortly thereafter, the pandemic hit. That's an interesting curveball that my son and his classmates had to navigate that many of us didn't have to do. But it still illustrates the point that things happen that are unexpected. And suddenly, when it felt like you were at the starting line of a new race, the course ahead of you just changed. Some of the students struggled with continuing through college, working from home, and other difficulties they had to face. My son was trying out a variety of different things that interested him. He was teaching himself things online. He took a few classes, ruled out some things he didn't want to do. However, as time went by, you could see that all of the other kids, some of them continued right on the path that they had created. They graduated college. They managed to get through the pandemic with minor bumps probably. Others dropped out of school. Some entirely changed their career paths, of course, changed their majors. And now my son has a much better idea what he wants to do. He's re-enrolled in college and he's doing things his own way. He's doing it part-time. He's figuring things out. He's excelling in his job and is learning all kinds of new things. It's important for us to think about we're all at different points in our lives. So I had interesting conversations with two women on the same day, which really sparked this idea of comparing where we are in life right now and feeling like we're not measuring up to where we thought we would be. And that's the problem. Our thinking about where we think we should be, and this can strike us at any age. This woman who is about 26, the same age as my older son, she's doing really well, but yet she admitted that she's not where she thought she would be in life right now. She was explaining that lots of her friends are at the point of their lives where they're getting married and they're having babies. And she was wondering, when is that going to happen for me? She even kind of felt like life hasn't started yet for me. And when is that going to happen? And what am I doing in the meantime to fill my time? And my heart felt a little bit sad for her because she was really good at what she did. We had a really wonderful conversation. She was the kind of person you immediately felt like, I'd like to know this person more. And I tried to impress on her that you're right where you're supposed to be right now. And don't wait for life to start happening. Your life is happening and you're in it. She recognized, and her friend shared with her, to enjoy this time and that you never get this time back because life starts happening it seems at a faster and faster pace. Once you maybe do get married, if you're going to get married at all and have children, there's a radical shift in everything that happens. And people who don't have children, choose not to have children, have very rich, fulfilling lives. We all have different paths. That's the point. And she was waiting for life to happen and was feeling just a little less than because her life wasn't going like the other people that she was comparing herself to. It's such a dangerous and slippery slope that we do. Now let's fast forward to the end of the day where I had a conversation with another woman who was in her 40s, but she said the very same words to me. I'm not where I thought I would be in my life at this point. She's divorced. She didn't think that she would be divorced. She didn't think that she would be single now for so long and not moving into the next phase of her life. But yet she has so many great positive things going on, but still kind of waiting and wondering when is the next phase or when are my dreams going to be fulfilled and how is this all going to work out, instead of enjoying the moment of all the really amazing things that she's doing. My point here is that no matter what age you are, male or female, it doesn't matter, all at these different phases of their lives, all feeling like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I want you to pause and think about what you're saying and question, where did that idea come from? And what's so bad about where I am right now? I just want to encourage you to embrace where you're at and enjoy every minute of it. So in another interesting conversation I had with my son, who's now found his career path and he's in art school, he was sharing with me on his first day of this new semester how interesting it's been watching the progress of the different artists and appreciating how everybody's art is different and how his style is developing over time. And while it hasn't been very long, he's getting more and more to know who he is through his art and developing his own style. And I asked him, pause for a second, isn't this kind of an interesting analogy for life? When we see it in art on the canvas or on the paper, it's easier to recognize like everybody has different styles. But what if we think about that for our lives and recognize that same idea, that where we are right now in life is based on our level of experience. It's based on all different kinds of factors and where we were raised and what kind of experiences we've gone through. So I'm just reflecting today on being where you thought you would be and trying to just appreciate the moment a little bit more. Sometimes we look back and we think, wow, I'm really glad that it worked out the way that it did, because had this all happened quicker, I wouldn't have been ready. I've thought that myself a lot of times. So instead of feeling frustrated, let's try to take a breath and to pause. And when we hear those thoughts in our head, when we notice the feelings of frustration, just think about for a minute, where did that thought come from? Is that really even true? And remind yourself, I'm doing okay. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And this isn't going to last forever. A phrase that my parents often say is, this too shall pass. And that's gotten me through some bumpy times, just knowing that this moment of life isn't going to last forever. And everybody has bumps in the road, and it really is okay. So that's a quick little message this morning that I want to share with you. Again, my name is Chris Clark. You're on the Living a Richer Life channel. I really appreciate you stopping by. If you like what you've heard today, please like and subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends. I'd love it if you drop a comment below and let me know what other kinds of topics you might like to hear. And I'll see you in the next video.